It has not been that long since Netflix officially revealed the production of a series based on the popular video game Horizon Zero Dawn. As can be taken from the website of the Canadian Film Union Directors Guild of Canada, the Netflix series bears the official title Horizon 2074 and will be shot in Toronto. Also featured on the site are the first crew members, including Jack Boehm, who previously assisted with the direction of The Boys, and Michelle Brady, who is the creative director for the Amazon series The Expanse. Moreover, journalist and insider Jeff Grubb revealed in his podcast that Horizon 2074 will not recount the events of the two video games. Rather, it will follow the plot after Part 2. Also, there will be two timelines, one illustrating the story of the main character Aloy, and the other, the downfall of human civilization. Aloy's story and the end of the world are separated by about 1,000 years. That leaves a lot of potential for an extensive story that has not been told in neither of the games yet. Still, it's questionable why exactly the year 2074 shall be the focus. After all, mankind was already wiped out in the 2060s. We hope to have official news about Horizon 2074 soon, though a release date has not been confirmed for Netflix yet. The release of Indiana Jones 5 is still about a year away. Nevertheless, the farewell of two Hollywood legends is already approaching. One is film composer John Williams, who hinted at his retirement in an interview with AP. He revealed he was currently working on Indiana Jones 5 and would most likely turn his back on composing for films afterwards. This means that one of the biggest Hollywood artists will be leaving, as the 90-year-old John Williams has composed the soundtracks of countless global hits. These include the well-known Indiana Jones films, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, and many others. However, it seems that Williams does not want to stop working altogether. He has already announced his intention to keep on writing concert music. The other person to give up his work is Harrison Ford, who will reach the age of 80 on July 13th. Officially, he has not declared the end of his career, but considering his age, Ford's retirement is certainly imminent as well. His part as Han Solo has already been dropped, and there probably won't be another Indiana Jones movie with him either. The foundation of more relaxing years would thus be laid, though we are still waiting for an announcement from Ford himself. Indiana Jones 5 is expected to be released in theaters on June 30th, 2023. In late May, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was released with great success on Disney+. Star Wars fans in particular, who enjoyed episodes 1 to 3, are likely to find the series very appealing. Now, some fans are completely satisfied with this one season and do not want the storyline to be dragged on. Others, however, are quite fond of the idea of a second season. Lead actor Ewan McGregor also appears to belong to the second group. Even before the season finale, he told the British GQ magazine in an interview that he would be very happy if the series were continued. Darth Vader actor Hayden Christensen shares the same opinion, as he would also be up for a second season. However, he did confess in an interview with Radio Times that the series was originally intended to be a standalone. The crew of the series seems to have a different opinion. Director Deborah Chow, for instance, spoke to Entertainment Tonight about the series being complete and that there were no plans to go further. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy supports this view, even though she does not rule out the possibility of carrying on with the series if there were a very good reason to do so. Thus, the responsible parties behind the camera do not look as inspired as the main actors. But the real question is, what would be the content of such a second season? How shall Obi-Wan develop further? And which stories would there be to tell about him? The people in charge should come up with a good answer to all these questions. A compromise solution would be a spin-off about the Inquisitor Reva, who is played by Moses Ingram. Rumor has it that this is already in the works, but an official confirmation is still pending. In any case, we are looking forward to seeing how Obi-Wan's story will evolve, and will continue to keep you up to date. It was only recently that we reported on the upcoming Deadpool 3 and the statements made by the two screenwriters, Rhett, Reese, and Paul Wernick. They expressed confidence regarding the third installment, even though not every single joke may be approved by Disney. Now the two authors had a chance to talk in the post-credit podcast, where, besides other things, the Sony flop Morbius was mentioned. Based on what they said, Reese and Wernick haven't seen the movie at all, but given the amount of memes, they won't be able to avoid including a Morbius gag here and there. They likewise clarified that that Deadpool would also be an integral part of the MCU in the future, although they remained silent on the exact plans to bring it all together. Reese also spoke of a so-called fish-out-of-water comedy in the case of Deadpool 3. This is a metaphor that in the world of movies means that the protagonist is plunged into a completely foreign world. A classic example of this would be a typical country dweller who is suddenly exposed to the big city life. In the case of Deadpool, we are talking more about a crazy anti-hero who has to survive in a world full of superheroes. The union of Deadpool and the MCU certainly holds some potential. A first preview is already provided by a video from Disney released in the summer of 2021, which shows the mercenary together with Korg as they watch and comment on Free Guy in typical YouTube reaction manner. It is unfortunately not known yet when Deadpool 3 will hit theaters, but a release prior to the end of 2023 is considered highly unlikely. There is hardly any action film series that enjoys such a cult status as James Bond. The British spy, who was created by author Ian Fleming in as early as 1953, has been part of movie history since 1962. Now, ever since No Time to Die, it has been made clear that Daniel Craig will no longer be taking on the role of the 00 agent. Producer Barbara Broccoli disclosed the current status of the now 26th Bond film in an interview with Deadline. According to her, the filming of a new movie alone would take place in 2 years at the earliest, which is nothing particularly unusual for the film series. Since there is still plenty of time before shooting begins, they have not even started to look for a successor to Craig just yet. As it is, many signs suggest a reimagining of the James Bond character and a new approach in the upcoming film. Indeed, many fans hope that the cult figure will not fall victim to a total makeover. For instance, No Time to Die already toyed with the idea that at least the agent number 007 will be filled by Lashana Lynch in the future, who in some form can also be given a spin-off film. What direction do you think the Bond franchise will continue to evolve in? And what are your expectations for the 26th Bond film? Feel free to let us know in the comments. Sony Pictures achieved significant success among both critics and fans last year with Ghostbusters Afterlife. The new installment impressed especially those who already liked the original from 1984. Now, a sequel seems to be in the works, which might be released in the near future. As the official Ghostbusters Twitter channel confirmed, they plan to release the sequel already in December 2023. This is ambitious. After all, the competition before Christmas is traditionally quite high. The new Star Trek movie will also be released during this time. For example, like already hinted upon at the end of the first part, the movie is set in Manhattan and the old familiar firehouse from the initial Ghostbusters. Director Jason Reitman, who, by the way, is the son of the original director, Ivan Reitman, already shared some details regarding the sequel with The Hollywood Reporter. Accordingly, the sequel will follow the end of Ghostbusters Afterlife, in which the Ecto-1 enters Manhattan and thus returns to its home. Meanwhile, work is also in progress on an animated Ghostbusters movie, which will be directed by Hotel Transylvania 4 film director Jennifer Kluska and Motor City creator Chris Prynoski. Jason Reitman also joins the Netflix exclusive series as an executive producer. Sadly, the series plot, as well as the release date, are still unknown. Those were the news for this week. If you haven't had enough yet, check out our latest original video on Mission Impossible 7 to find out everything there is to know about the new part of the action series starring Tom Cruise.